Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from Hawaiian beaches on the beautiful Big Island of Hawaii. Hooray! Thank you so much. So as always, if you're joining me live, anyone who would like to speak with me, please raise your hand. You could also type a question to me. If you're watching this later and you would like to join one, go to Facebook.com/groups/Wisdom Dialogues. Yay. So you're not doing anything ever. And you know why that's important is because when you recognize you're not doing anything and no one else is doing anything either, especially no one else is doing anything to you, then no guilty thoughts could fly. They don't carry any kind of energetic charge for you. In order to take on any guilty thought, by take it on, I mean project it. In order to project any guilty thought, you have to be believing that you are capable of doing. And by extension, so is everyone else. Perceiving is all you're asked to do, if you can consider that a doing at all, because it's already occurring. Just perceive whatever you're perceiving. And that's already occurring. Even if you're focusing on something else, even if you're focusing on making something into a concern or a problem or something like that. Can you give another word for perceiving? Okay, maybe how about some words? It's whatever you feel, see, touch, everything that's occurring through the senses. Everything that's occurring through the senses. Okay? So you get the experience of everything that's occurring through the senses. Noticing, yes, and what it means noticing is more of a you could say it's somewhat of a conscious effort, because look at, you're still perceiving the noticing. Like whatever is occurring through your sense, whether you're noticing it or not. Whether you're noticing or not, perceiving is occurring. Okay? And that's really all you're asked to do. Whether from your perspective, let's say, you know that you're doing your job. You're serving your purpose automatically without doing anything. Then noticing occurs because you're curious about it. You're interested. Now then you're interested. But before that, noticing itself is a conscious effort, and that's why people engage in something like would engage in something like meditation. And that's why it would it would appear to have some effects, the meditation itself, but it's not really that act of it. It's not really that sitting still part of it. It's the effort to notice. See? And, noticing isn't just occurring. Noticing isn't just occurring because there's identification. If there wasn't a belief in doership, the noticing would happen without any effort. It would occur without any effort. Since there's belief in doership, the noticing is somewhat of a conscious effort. The goal still the goal of noticing in that case, if it's noticing with effort, the goal of noticing is still to confirm in your own mind that there is no doing. There is perceiving. You don't have to perceive it in any special way. There's not a way of perceiving right. There's no way of perceiving better or worse. There's just perceiving. Just perceiving. And in the perceiving, you can make suffering for yourself if you want, and that is perfectly fine too. It's totally the same. Because suffering does not exist. You can make an illusion of suffering for yourself, but there's no suffering still. Haven't made anything that's going to last. It made something for the dream, say. So if you find yourself suffering, and notice when I use the word find yourself, that's kind of like a pointer to it appears that you're suffering, but you're not. But you're still not. You're perceiving suffering. All there is perceiving. So, perceiving suffering. Oh, I'm perceiving suffering. Oh. And you notice that you're perceiving suffering. You notice that you're perceiving suffering. Not that the suffering is real. Mostly people are noticing that the suffering is real, which is not a true noticing. They're noticing what their thoughts are telling them. But if you're actually noticing the suffering, then its cause can be revealed. Then its cause can be revealed. See? And here's another interesting thing. When it comes to the effort of noticing, the only time you need that effort is when you're triggered. And majority of people live triggered all day long because there's never the release of the doer. It never is just a second, half a second. So, there's no doing, there's only perceiving. And that's only hard to get because of beliefs. It only appears hard to get because of beliefs that say something is wrong if that happens. Something is wrong if I realize that I'm only perceiving. Something will go wrong. The world will go to crap. What if everyone just realized they were only perceiving? They didn't actually do anything. Well, that's already what's occurring, so It's not going to hurt anything, that's for sure. Not going to hurt anything. But if you see how, like you could say the structure or the order of things, If you're not projecting your sufferings and instead noticing them, see the choice there? Projecting or noticing? Perceiving is happening no matter what. You'd say if anything's happening, it's perceiving. Everything that seems to be happening in the perception is being perceived. It's not really occurring. It's occurring to you as a thought. See where that effort comes in. The effort is what, let's tie that back into what we spoke about before. The little bit of willingness, just a little willingness. That's what the effort is. Isn't that great? Little bit of willingness. To have the truth, to know the truth. Instead of making illusions true, you get everything in return, because all you can ask for is knowing the truth. Every single desire that you perceive yourself to have, and every single intention to attain that desire, it's a symbol. It's only a symbol. It's a symbol of the desire to know the truth. That desire to know the truth is always in the mind. It remains in the mind. As soon as there's taking separation is true, the desire to know the truth is right alongside it. And that's the only true desire. That's the only true desire. That's the desire of the heart. That's a desire of everyone's heart. You could say it's the goal of everyone. So there's no desire that you have to chase after, because they're not really your desires like that. They're symbolic of the desire in you to know the truth. When you get caught up in whether or not you attain your desire, I need an intention. Remember, you need nothing. An intention may arise. Let it be spontaneous then. My intention. You don't have those either. You might say that in your language. You might say my intention. I find myself saying the intention. The intention. Sense an intention? Yes. Okay. No problem. No problem. Only I could make the intention into a problem, or lack of intention into a problem. Or hoping you got the right intention. That again goes to doership. Hi, cutie. Aww. 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 Wisdom. I love you. I see a beautiful hand of Bob Shine. How fun. I haven't had a combo with Bob in a while. Hey, Bob.
Hey, so I perceive you,
How
or
fun.
or rather, I create you. So, they talk about that perceiving is something where you're a perceiver and there's something out there separate from you that you're
Yep.
perceiving.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
but if you're the projector of everything you're seeing, then you're not just perceiving it, you're creating it, you're projecting it. So it's like sitting in the movie theater and seeing the screen, the flat screen, and it looks like you're there looking at something outside of you, in front of you, but actually it's being projected from behind you when you're seeing your own creation. So it's nothing, it appears to be something outside of you that you're perceiving, but it's actually you're creating it, you're projecting it. You always talk about how everything's a projection. So
Yes,
that would mean that you're the creator of it. You're just not perceiving something on the outside.
exactly.
Right. So it's like, like scientists, they have to have the double blind experiments where they have to, they're hoping to perceive objective reality through
Yeah.
their experiments, but they, as the observer of the experiment, are altering the experiment.
Yes.
So this is the whole fallacy of science, is that basically the science is projecting and creating everything that he is seeing.
Yeah.
He's under the delusion of separation, that he's here and this goat or whatever he's going to study and do an experiment on is out there.
Very
And
good.
just like in the movie theater, he's projecting it, but it appears to be because you're unconscious of what's going on behind you in your unconscious, subconscious mind that's projecting the image. So,
Yes.
so you had mentioned before Robert Scheinfeld busting loose from the money game,
Yes.
that you've recommended that, and that has he has lots of great descriptions about how life is a total immersion movie. It's kind of like sitting in the movie theater and stepping into the movie and becoming one
Yes.
of the characters and forgetting that you're, a person separate and apart from the movie and the action, that you're believing all the special effects and all of the
Yeah.
prop lights and your character.
Uh-huh.
And so then you're involved in this play, this all the world's a stage, and you're one of the players in this total immersion movie.
Yes.
And so yeah, so then it's all your creation. And then he talks about how life is a amusement park,
Uh-huh.
how everything is rides and fun and attractions that you go on. I know how much you like amusement parks. You go to Disneyland and Lego Land and
Yeah.
kind of stuff. We take on these mortal bodies and this mortal life for kind of like an amusement park ride.
Like a
To
ride.
right, and then he talks about life as being like a hologram.
Uh-huh.
That on Star Trek they have what's called the holodeck,
Hmm.
where you can step into this holographic simulation. Everything appears to be real and tangible, but it's all just a holographic projection that you're stepping into. And it's kind of like a dream, also. It's kind of like a lucid dream where you know you're dreaming and you can generate and create whatever you want in your dream.
Yes.
So it's really taking command of the fact that, like you say, we're not a doer, that it's kind of like sitting there in the movie theater. You're not projecting the images on the screen, but then if you can become conscious of that and know that it's a projection, just like in lucid dreaming, you can become conscious and know it's a dream, then you can create the happy dream, the happy movie, the happy amusement park ride, the happy holodeck experience.
Okay, so that's where you're getting onto manifestation in a kind of a this is like a creative ego trick. It's trickery. Okay. Let's go back to creation. You know, you said it's your creation because of this and this and this and this. It is not your creation. It is not even anything close to your creation. It is an abomination before your creation. Okay.
Well, you're creating, it's an abomination. So
It is
yeah,
an abomination before your creation. I'll tell you why it's an abomination, and I think you know why already, but you know, for people who are listening, death. Okay? That's what makes it an abomination. Belief in death is showing it's symbolizing death. It's symbolizing separation. That is not reality. That is not reality. You can only create like your creator. You can only create in the spirit of love. Okay? Let's say that. The world that you perceive, the world that you are perceiving is not in the spirit of love. And that is one reason why, you could say that's why perceiving is so important. And that's why there is perceiving, because perceiving will show you the way to undo what's making this world real. Okay? So when you get all tripped off onto trying to create it like you want it to be, or you think you imagine it, or anything like that, you are completely missing the point. And you know what? It's good. It's cool. You can. You can. You can do that as long as you want. You can have it. You can have all the fun you want with that, because there's no such thing as time. There's no such thing as time. But I suspect that since you came to Wisdom Dialogues, you're actually looking to bypass that kind of stuff. You don't have to do it. It's not necessary. But if you want to, you can.
yeah.
You don't have
Well,
to go that route,
it
but
is
if you want to, you
it
can.
isn't me creating it. It's just being a transparency, for the divine will and the divine love and light to pass through me, and I just Jesus says, I of my own self can do nothing. The Father within doeth the works. Why call me good? There's only one good, the Father. So it's allowing that spiritual uh, omniscience, omnipresent, omnipotence of the divine to work in and through and as you out into uh, the world that you perceive.
Yes. Yes. And that's you could say an effect, the world you perceive becoming more playful and fun and interesting, or whatever. Loving. It's an effect of loving.
Right, but then that's the question. What is love? Love is coming from source, from the divine, which
Hmm.
is invisible, which has no
Yes.
form. It's just pure space. So everything that we perceive, our our awareness requires no form. God requires no form for existence. Light requires no form for light to exist. And so basically, I see that one transcends all survival, all need for form. You're just formless awareness, the space that generates all form. And so then that's the origin, the source is like this zero, this just pure void of space that then is a clean slate that can generate something new and not the same old repetitive patterns that keep the world in bondage and suffering, apparently.
Yes. And it's it's not something that you have to try to attain. Do you know what I mean? As far as the as the lighter, more loving dream. It's not something you have to try to attain. And you know what? I wouldn't recommend either making taking the dream, taking the image of the dream, and using that to gauge where you are. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's your perception of the dream. It's always comes down to your perception of the dream. See, what I notice is people trying to pursue that better, happy dream, and when they have the perception that it's not happy yet, they'll pursue guilty thoughts about that. You see? Because there is no yet to it. There is no yet to it. The happy dream is also now. So whatever you seem to be perceiving as in the world, if you perceive a world in bondage, for instance, that is a projection, right? To perceive the world in bondage, you were talking about it earlier, Bob, how it's a projection. It's coming from the projector. It's coming from the mind. That perception of the world in bondage, that's where the opportunity is for you. That's where it is.
So I'm
Because
keeping it in bondage by seeing all the effects of bondage.
no, because no, you can't keep it in bondage because it's not real. You're
Mm.
only keeping it in bondage in your imagination.
So, so love is the only reality. Everything else is illusion. So
Yes,
anything
no.
not
Mm-hmm.
of love, why give any time or effort or
It's not
attention?
really like that. That's why. You said it yourself. It's a projection. It's coming from the mind. So it's not really like that. It's not really in bondage. You know,
Mm.
and just if you notice, just in casual conversation, that you might be saying something like that. Like the state of the world. I hear about, what is it? What's that? The monetary system. What's it called? Capitalism. I hear about capitalism being like a bad thing,
Mm.
a bad thing for people, like, and they'll just like kind of like say that casually, like that's a bad thing, and that's also an imagined thing. And here's another thing I'm noticing too is a lot of my friends who are against capitalism are like super duper in a situation where they don't have money. It's really interesting. And like and kind of like, wow, there's like no money. And it's got to be the same thing to perceive a world in bondage. You're perceiving that first within yourself. See? It's like you perceive that first within yourself, and then you have that perception. To have that perception in the outer world, you have to perceive it within yourself first. So basically, see it there first, and then boom, outside. Okay, so if you find yourself perceiving a world in bondage, guess who is holding themselves in bondage?
Right. Yeah. Well.
And if you find yourself perceiving a problem and with our financial system or something like that, which doesn't exist, it only exists in imagination, then you're projecting poverty, perceiving poverty. See, it's as if the financial system has power. It's as if the world's bondage has any power, and that's also coming up in your imagination. Hey,
Yeah.
Lori says the happy dream is also now. I love that. It's only a thought, keeping it like it's not here now. Yes, exactly. And the happy dream, it's still a dream. It still includes all that stuff that you saw before. It's not like it disappeared. You still see people in bondage. You might still see, but you realize that that is a perception. It's a happy dream because that's a perception, because it's not real. It's what makes it a happy dream. And having a happy dream is what ends dreaming altogether. That's what's great.
Well, I see it though as kind of like a gradual awakening, like a dawn. It's like you
Mhm.
start to see the first light, and every day I feel I become lighter, I become freer, I become more present. I'm not burdened by all of the guilt and the problems and looking at all the problems and the negativities and everything. I am more light, I am more joyful, I am more fun loving and seeing
Well, forget about all that because you're talking about a memory of yourself.
well, I mean, that's how I feel now today. Every day I wake up and I'm freer. I'm lighter. I'm happier. I'm not so burdened like I've been in the
Okay,
past.
so all right, so look, here's the thing. That's awesome, and I'm super stoked to you. I'm super stoked about that. It's awesome to hear that. I'm super stoked. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So let me just point out another little thing here. You're saying the I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. So just watch that because when you're saying I'm lighter, I'm happier, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Okay? It's it's some identification going on there. It's like some identification that I sense going on in that because the I'm lighter, I'm happier, it's kind of like using your perception as proof. It's awesome. I'm not saying that it's not awesome, but it's kind of like using your perception as proof of what you know. So in knowing your perception can be anything. In knowing your perception of yourself can be anything. Your perception of yourself can be heavy and it's okay. You see? That's a different kind, a little bit a different kind of lightness. You know, the happy dream is, yeah, you perceive yourself. Oh, yeah, you perceive yourself. But still, you know that you're perceiving yourself as, and there's no pitfalls for you. So, what I'm showing you right now is to watch out for that kind of stumbling block that could, show you a perception. Because as soon as you start identifying with, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, the ego comes in and it's not seen, but suddenly you'll find yourself in a perception of suffering and feel as if all that was for naught. All that
Yeah,
I'm happy, I'm good, I'm
you
this, I'm that, I'm this,
were just
but
saying that earlier. You don't want to gauge your enlightenment on anything in the external. Oh, because I'm freer now, I'm getting more enlightened or whatever, and
yes,
you're looking at external circumstances as some kind of a report card. You're graduating, and so it's just
yes,
another self preoccupation.
very good. Thank you. It's not your report card.
So yeah, if I get an
That was
F,
a
then
great one,
that's just
Bob.
fine.
Huh?
If I get an F, that's just fine. If I fail or like yeah, but but even that, it's like if a problem comes up or a pain or whatever, and I'm more light and free and open to be able to just pass through it and not get so stuck in it.
Yay.
So, but now there's this other idea of the world as the creation, which is the world as a work of art. So this guy, Valentin Tomberg, he has this book, Meditations on the Tarot, and the last tarot card is the world, the woman who is dancing. And so he says the world is a work of art. This is tantamount to the thesis the world is fundamentally neither a mechanism, not an organism, or even a social community, neither a school on a grand scale or an institution for living beings, but rather a work of divine art, at one and the same time a choreographic, musical, poetic, dramatic work of painting, sculpture, and architecture.
Yep, that too.
Right. So it's a work of art that in our projection, uh, that uh, the world is the canvas for our projection.
Well, you could say consciousness is the canvas for the whole world.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's outside of it. It's projected to outside of yourself, so you could see it.
Right. Yeah, it's like looking. It's and yeah, that's another. of course, ideas that the world is a mirror, that you're just always seeing yourself.
Yeah, and all these things are pointers. I mean, they help you to get to the truth, find your way. It's kind of like pointing your way to the truth that you already know, but are keeping hidden from yourself. That's
Mm,
why there's all these different fun ways of saying it. Isn't
mm,
that
mm.
fun?
Right. Yeah. So that's why I want to explore all the fun ways of seeing the
We're
world.
good
And
at
yeah,
that.
but now I want to get back to what you were talking about. You know, people who are don't like capitalism and everything,
Okay.
because you know, in the monetary system,
Yes.
because basically how I see the world evolving is evolving into global unity. That as the world stands now, everyone is separated in religion, economic status, country, border, gender, and all this stuff. And there's nothing that has brought the world together as one human family, to where
Okay.
we are all living and working together for each other, just like there in your household,
Yes.
everyone working together for each other. You don't have to pay your daughter. Well, of course you do in the business,
Yeah.
but to be able to see the world as one household, one family, and everyone is living and working and giving and providing for each other, that if that were the case, then we wouldn't need money. We would just be giving. We would just be sharing. We would be seeing that 60% of the world isn't living on $2 a day, seeing that 40,000 children aren't dying on the planet every day, seeing that the needs of people are being given, and that everyone deserves the basic dignity of food, clothing, and shelter, and medical care. And to have I see that this is the trajectory of human evolution for the so-called planet, or the human family. So in that respect, then I see the possibility that why need money? Why need any money? Just if someone needs something, give it, provide it. We have a whole world of abundance. We have everything needful for every human being to live a beautiful, loving, healthy, creative life. And yet there's I don't know if I guess if I say certain conditions of the planet, then that's my projection.
Yes. You're looking to fix something and acting as if what you're saying is going on is really true when it is your projection. Here's what Lori said. None of that is true. It's all a dream. Everything he's saying is all the dream.
Right. But
That's all just to get you distracted from perceiving, noticing the perceiving. You're not noticing the perceiving when you're focused on the outer world like that.
hmm.
See? You're not noticing the perceiving. But you don't have to. You can focus on the outer world like that.
Yeah, but
That's
see,
why
but
you're
this
doing
but this,
something.
but this is just it. If I can perceive the love, the givingness, the sense of union and oneness, then that's what's going to
You're
bring
trying
about.
to get a result, though. See? The trying to get a result is making your perception real. That's not what's being asked of you. Only
Yeah, but
perceive.
I feel limited by money. I feel limited by,
Yes,
you
I
say,
know.
oh, well, there isn't enough money, so now I can't get what I need. But basically what I'm seeing is that I'm transcending survival by form. I need less money. I don't need a lot of money. I'm becoming simpler, freer. I don't have addictions. I don't have needs. I don't have to go here or go there, own this or have this possession or whatever. That I'm just,
That's okay because you're projecting neediness for all kinds of other people. That's where it is.
yeah, well, I guess the Beatles said it, all you need is love, huh?
Yeah, see, if you're if you know you this is how the ego kind of gets you tricked is to go, okay, look, you as yourself as this individual Bob, you're so not needy. Look at you, you're not needy. You don't have addictions, you don't have this and that. But those people over there, holy shit, they need money. They're needy. So see, that's all the same. That's all the same. Okay? No one needs anything. Money is part of the play. It's part of the play make believe world, or it has one purpose and one purpose only. You know what it is?
To play the money game. I don't
It's
know
for
what
undoing the whole world. Okay?
money to undo the world.
Yes, everything is. Money is one of them. And money is a big one and for a lot of people because they take it to be so real.
Hmm.
Okay?
So yeah, that's the idea, to undo the world.
That's the idea of everything. So if you have the perception of people who need money and who are suffering because they don't have enough money, I heard you say something about $2 and stuff like that. Um, that's there for you to undo the whole world. That's
Yeah,
not
well,
there
like
for
I
you to
say,
go.
why need money? Those people with who? Why do you have to buy, your life? Why do you have to be a slave to be limited by money? Why can't, well, as I say, as one human family, one human household, we just provide all of the needs of all the people. Everyone has abundance. Everyone has their needs met. There's no,
Well, that's
1%
how it is.
doing it.
Well,
Huh?
that's how it is. Everyone has their needs met right now. That's
Yeah,
really how
right. Yeah,
everyone has
that's
met. Everyone has their needs met. That's it. That ends the whole thing.
okay.
That ends it all. Just don't need that kind of play. That kind of play. And I don't mind at all if you want to play like that. That is totally. I'm stoked for you because all of it is working out. All of it is nothing's gonna go wrong. I'm only saying this because this is Wisdom Dialogues.
Yes, I want.
But
What I'm
you know,
for.
you can you can go chase that thing all day long, and I love you exactly the same. And if you're just telling me this, if you're just talking to me and telling me this, I'd just be like, okay, awesome. You know, it's just that you're coming and telling me here on Wisdom Dialogues, and it seems like you have um, a lot of energy invested into this already. Like you're not really willing to give up the world yet. You're not really willing to give up the world yet because this projection that there's needy people and things need to be different is important. It's a little. I sense that it's important, and that's okay too. But that's the sense I'm getting.
Well, it's just that I've been given a vision of a possibility for my family, my brothers and sisters, the human family,
Great.
and it's like you do miracle botanicals, someone else is a doctor, someone else is a lawyer, someone works with cows, someone works with art, and so everyone has a vision, has to move forward that they're creating with their life. And so this is something that's been given me a vision, a new possibility, a new moving forward in the evolutionary unfoldment of life.
Well, it'll be exciting to see how it unfolds then. There's just nothing for you to do about it.
Right, that's just it. There's nothing for me to do. I'm here in Volcano. 'Cause, 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 'cause sitting here relaxing, enjoying myself, and
Well,
having a
that's not exactly where what I was talking about, where it's all just going to unfold. You see how it goes to the physical. Like I'm sitting here relaxing where I am in volcano and everything like that. That's not what I mean by that. Because you could find yourself doing anything and still be allowing it to unfold. It doesn't matter. You could be doing some hard labor, apparently, and still be allowing it to unfold. So it's not like that. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything does not mean you will not find yourself doing something because it's a dream.
Yeah, well, I do things all day, of course. I'm doing things around the property and the house and doing my work. Um, but yeah, I do. You really help me to see and feel and perceive that love. That love is is the transforming, uh, and awareness. Love and awareness is what transforms, not striving to change or do something, as you say.
Yes, exactly. Is it where it gets tripped up is that idea that now you need an intention. Okay, I have a vision, now I need an intention. Intention, just like the vision, will occur spontaneously and it'll also take care of itself.
That's it.
You probably heard before, let the world take care of itself, be passerby.
That's it. Not so much as an intention. That's more of like something that you do or you think. An inspiration is something that that comes from a deeper source. You're just the vehicle for this divine inspiration, vision, or possibility, potential. That you're the transparency, the avenue of expression, the the window, the banks of the river to allow it to flow out into creation.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Right. So,
Yay.
yeah, that you're really helping me to clarify and hone and simplify and jettison, all of the non-essentials.
Well, thank you for using me that way.
Yes, well,
And I invite everyone to use me that way. That's so awesome. I
well,
appreciate
that's what you're that's what this is all about. This is
that.
what the dialogues are all about. We escort each other,
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
love and the light and the awareness and the now moment.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
thank you very much. I love you.
Thank you, Bob. I love you. Thank you for coming on. And by the way, Lori said while we were having a conversation, she said, "This is so good for me. He is actually getting me to see where I'm believing in the world." Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Thank you so much.
good, good. So let's live in the world of love.
In the world of love. Yay, Bob.
Okay, mahalo. See you soon.
Mahalo. Yeah. Yay. What is life? What is life? Anastasia said, "What is life? What is life? You are." It could say that you are. There's a lot of different definitions people use for that word life. Um, might say that your memory of yourself up until now, and then your projected future. That's your life in the world, I guess. I don't know. But that doesn't really exist. It's more like a lifetime. Maybe that's a good term for it. I don't know. A lifetime, maybe. But life, that's like you are life. Um, Nothing can occur without your awareness. So that, to my mind, makes you life. So hooray. If you would like me to elaborate on that, just ask me another question about it. Thank you. Or raise your hand. I'd love to speak with you. That was so fun talking with Bob. Thank you, Bob. That was so awesome. I love how it came out about how taking the world as if that's actually happening is the same idea, like that's the same as forsaking the world. It's not. It's holding on to it. It's like waiting. It's this energy of waiting for the world to change. And as long as you find yourself pursuing any kind of spirituality so that you can help the world to change, you're making the world real, which is not a problem, once again. No problem. It's okay. You can make the world real. It's not going to really make it real. That's why you can make the world real. You only make it real in your imagination, and it's nothing. It's like kind of like a mist. I saw a hand go up and then go down. I'm not sure who is raising their hand, so if you want to speak with me, put it up again. You can't make something real and then heal it. Because once you make it real, you make it impossible to heal unless you recant that making it real part. Or, better said, until you deny that it's real. You got to deny the reality part before it gets healed. You can't have it real and healed. It can't be real and healed. See? Real doesn't need healing. So if capitalism is real to you, then you do not want healing for it. You just admit that. That's all. It's okay. You're making it real. If you find yourself engaging in conversations about how that's too bad, that that's like that, and stuff like that, you're making it real because it's not like that. Anytime, and this is funny because it's funny to me. It's so commonly said, "Oh, that's too bad. Oh, that's really just too bad that it's like that." It's not like that. The perception of it being like that is for getting that feeling that it's too bad. And that it needs to change. Or maybe it's just not going to change. It's kind of like hopelessness. It's just, oh well, that's the way it is. It's not like that in the first place. As soon as you find yourself in too bad mode, you've made something real. That's all. It's not bad. It's not that. It's not bad. Get the perception of that. Get the perception. Everything you're getting the perception no matter what. Noticing can happen anytime you choose it. That all you're doing is getting a perception. All you're doing is getting a perception. Aloha, my love. Thank you for raising your beautiful hand.
I raised it earlier too, but then I took it back down because you actually said exactly what I was going to say. Anyway,
Oh my goodness, that's so fun.
I had to take it back down. Okay, so the the it's too bad, or another one is it's so sad.
Oh my goodness, yes.
That one is so many. It's so sad.
I
So many
haven't
people.
heard that one in forever, actually. Maybe it's because we live on the islands. I don't know.
Well, it's, so and so's father is dying. It's so sad.
Oh,
So doesn't talk to her brother. That's so sad.
oh, how sweet.
It is sweet. It is, but
Oh,
I
that's
but
so cute. That's how I feel. And I hear something like, oh, that's too bad. I've heard the too bad a couple of, oh, that's so sweet. It's my own mind. It's like showing me the recesses of my own mind so I can get the perception of it. Isn't that fun? So I could have that perception.
okay, so that's coming up a lot lately here.
What
It's
is the
so
too bad?
sad.
So
A lot of
sad.
people say it's so sad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
But
so
but there's no falling for it here. There's an automatic feeling of contraction knowing that that's not how it is. There's
okay, so the feeling of contraction.
yes.
Okay, so that's where it is. That's where you could say the dark corner is getting exposed right now. So that's where it is. So you go to that feeling of contraction.
Okay, which is always in the gut.
Okay. So you go to that feeling of contraction and let it be. Let it be as it is, that feeling of contraction. And in noticing that feeling of contraction, um, eventually you will not have a feeling of contraction. In response to that, it'll be more like, oh.
Yeah.
Because it's exposing something hurt in your, like a hurt in your mind, a wound. See,
Okay, okay.
it's a wound in your own mind, and that's why it's like, oh, it's like this soothing balm for that wound that's being symbolized to you by what this person is showing you. And
Mhm.
that's why everyone is such a blessing, everyone is such a gift from whatever they show you, like that.
Right,
See,
right.
so that person is not really suffering from, oh my God, that's so sad. Okay. And neither are you. But for you, it's pointing to a place in your mind. You can say, like what I said, a dark crevice or corner of
Right.
your mind is kind of like held in defensiveness that feels sad and just kind of like needs some love. So that feeling sad, needing some love is arising in your body's energy field, a gut feeling that you get, that tightness. It's arising like that for some love. You could say it's asking for love.
Mm.
Because her even saying out that so sad isn't really happening.
Right. I
Yeah.
okay. And neither is the whole situation of the father dying or whatever the hell it is. None of that is even real. And that contraction is getting me to see what's being believed in the mind.
Yeah, and if you don't even look for it, you don't even look for it, but you just let that upset, kind of like a child, that it's kind of like an upset child showing themselves to you, just being soothed right there,
Mm.
and it'll be revealed to you. That's like what a revelation is. It's like you're open for the revelation and it comes. So you don't have to
Beautiful.
go searching the mind.
Mm. That's beautiful.
Yay.
Because that's like a relief not having to go searching.
Exactly, because it's so apparent to you. At this point, it's so apparent to you what your trigger is, right?
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of more, so much more awareness around the feeling.
Yes, you
Holy,
have the sensitivity to it. You
yes.
have the sensitivity to it. So now it's just a matter of letting that be loved, kind of like embraced in a soothing
Mm,
balm. You see how
Ooh.
it's all coming from your own body's energy field.
Mhm.
See? And in that embracing, it's like it's like just a love, a love connection. I have one friend who remind me of a story. I had one friend who came up to me and he goes, "Yeah, this guy, he just like was house sitting my house and he completely thrashed my house." And I had heard about this, right? But I didn't know it was that guy. And as soon as he told me that, I was like, "That was you?" I just laughed so hard. And he's like, "Oh my God, you're laughing." And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, and he just like starts laughing too. It was just like, they were just so, when hearing the story, not making it real and stuff. And it's not I'm not saying it's appropriate or inappropriate to laugh.
Right. But that's
Like
just what happened.
that, yeah, that's just how it went down. That's just how it went down. It's like it's like it just came out like that. It's like I love him. I
Yeah.
love him. I love everyone. But we're having interactions and we were hanging out together. We're like the same age and stuff, and we met each other a couple times. And then he left and he came back, and I was just like, "That was you." And before that, he looked so serious. But then
Beautiful. So he could drop the idea that.
yeah, and I don't know, because I didn't remain with him. I don't know if he picked it up back again, but it's just like there's that space there, and it is all coming out of your body's energy field. And it's like there was even the invitation there to feel as if I did something wrong when he said, "Oh my God, you're laughing about it." And I was like, "Yes, I am.
Yes,
I love you." I can't help that. It's just occurring.
Oh, that's freaking funny.
but that's what I mean. It's a illusion will demonstrate to you. The illusion will demonstrate to you that it is all coming out of your imagination.
Mm.
See, um, and look, the invitation was there to go gulp. Why did I laugh?
Right. Yeah. There's
You know,
something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. I
exactly.
shouldn't be laughing at this serious situation.
Right. Right. And I know, and then I don't have a judgment based on someone else's reaction to how I acted, as if to even question whether or not I'm guilty, because there's no doing.
Right. No,
If, I,
obviously.
if I'm laughing, I'm watching the show of me laughing, just like you.
It's so obvious that you didn't do that. Was automatically what happened. Nobody's doing it. It's
Yeah.
so and the and it's so true when you get that deep. When that becomes apparent that you aren't doing anything, automatically it comes that neither are others. I mean, they're the same. There really aren't any others, but in the dream,
Yes.
right away, there goes the judgment. Nobody's doing anything. And
Exactly.
so how could they do anything wrong?
Exactly. And
Not
the way A Course in Miracles presents it is that you would be forgiving them first. You could be forgiving them first to forgive yourself. And what is forgiveness really, but recognizing that no one's doing anything.
period.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Okay, I'm not doing anything, but look at all the stuff that all these other people are. Why are they doing that to me?
But then that leads to there was nothing to forgive in the first place because nothing was being done.
Exactly. And the only reason forgiveness is relevant in dreams is because right now you have unforgiveness.
Right? Right. Well,
It's like holding on to that's the only. But once the forgiving is done, there's no concept of that in reality.
right. Oh, I never thought of it like that before.
But I have
I
today.
saw that. I saw it earlier. You put that up.
Yeah.
Forgive. What's it smell like?
Well, it's Hawaiian sandalwood from this island, so it's like a little bit woodsy deep, and then it's got Cape chamomile, which is kind of sweet, and myrrh. Yeah, those are just those three, and myrrh. So it's kind of like a sweet yet deep, creamy
Ooh.
situation. Yeah.
I might have to get that one.
It's a fun one. It's a really fun one. I mean, you have you can use it for if you have the perception. When you have the perception, let's say, because like if we were all done forgiving, we would not perceive in separation.
Right.
So when you have the perception, because that's going to occur, of unforgiveness, like basically suffering, you find yourself suffering. Basically, whenever you find yourself suffering, you could use this or something else that resonates with you. It doesn't really matter. This one came to me with this name, forgiving, one day, and just like take an inhalation, and your attention shifts to the inhalation. I know you've been playing around with that, Lori, with that blend that you have.
The bliss.
Yeah. Yes, you've been playing around with that. You see how, it's all symbolic.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all symbolic.
Magic.
And yes, it's like magic, and it's asking for something other than what you're making it right now. Yeah. A reinterpretation.
Reinterpretation. When you used to say that, I didn't know what you meant by that, but just now, boom, it just got in.
Yay.
Yeah.
You have fun how that works.
Yeah, it's reinterpreting what was being believed in that moment, which was bullshit.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And it's fun, and it could be anything, everything is an agent of the mind. Everything that you use is an agent of the mind. And that includes people. That includes if you go to the hospital and there's a doctor there, that's also an agent of your mind. If they tell you you got some diagnosis, that also came out of your mind. And if you use a certain kind of remedy it's all imagination. It's magic. It's total magic in a dream. So your magic could be anything. I mean, it could be even taking a deep breath. Okay, it could be. At one point, my magic was relaxing my toes. That was like the because they were always tense, so that was an easy one. Now I don't find them like that very often.
Your toes were tense.
Yeah, well, they would grip the earth. They would grip.
Oh.
Yeah, they would. You see, if you look, you'll probably start noticing that this now. You guys don't have people wearing sandals where you are.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, wait till the summer, and then watch people's feet. People grip. And I used to find myself gripping, and when I recognize that, there's one thing you can notice, see, in the perception. One thing you can notice in the perception, it's something like that. It's like an unconscious kind of gripping. So when I noticed that, it was like, wow, I wonder. It was just like a real fun curiosity thing. I wonder if I could pay attention to that throughout the day and let those relax. Because as soon as I pay attention to my toes, they would relax. And that just set something up right there. That was like noticing awareness. That just like really set something up, because I noticed every time I would notice my toes, there would be a sense of relaxation. So that became my magic. Oh, and Yulia mentioned another thing. She said, I know what that's like, the toes gripping the earth or tapping feet. Oh, yeah, that is such a fun one. Yeah. Notice that, too. Watch how there's foot tapping, leg shaking, nervous habits. My friend, I have a yogi friend, calls it fidgeting. And I bet you Yulia is tuned into that because she is practicing yoga. I see her poses on Facebook. And so yes. Yep. Yeah. In yoga they call that fidgeting. If you're just aware of yourself fidgeting, you'll stop fidgeting. You just notice you're fidgeting and you'll stop fidgeting. And fidgeting could be anything like, going like this, fingernail.
How about
Just
biting?
Yeah, like any repetitive
Biting
thing.
your lip. Biting
Bite.
my lip. I
Yeah.
do it all the time. And I
Yeah.
notice it, but I still do it. Even talking with you. I'm noticing biting. It's not right now because I'm talking, but when it's idle time, I am biting my lips. And I notice my mother does it too.
Oh, how fun. How fun. Yeah. So that in yoga, the term for that is fidgeting.
Okay.
Yeah. Fidgety, basically, the moment you notice it, you can't do it. Yeah, exactly. The moment you notice it, you can't do it.
That's not true here.
It is.
As you were talking about it, I was
Uh-huh.
still doing it. My biting. I'd love to grab that skin and just pull.
Well, okay, so it's a different kind of noticing then because you're noticing it as in you're doing it. There's something there that you're holding against it that doesn't want you to see. Okay? You may be able to continue doing it, but you're not doing it without awareness of it now. You're not doing it without the noticing of it. So just keep on the noticing of it, and you won't be able to do it when you notice what's going on. Because when you really notice what's going on with a fidgety kind of thing, it stops. It just stops. It's like, oh, because it's being run by something else. It's being run by that projector. What's running it? What's running it? It's not sort of like an unconscious.
Right, it's not unconscious because I know I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I know it's happening.
Yeah.
And it's continuing to happen.
Yeah.
Even though we're talking about it.
And here's how I know you're not noticing it in the way that I'm talking about, because the way your voice changes when I'm continuously, I'm continuing, I'm continuing like that. So that's the thing. It's a defense mechanism.
Okay.
You're noticing it as if you're doing it.
Yes.
You're noticing as if you are the doer of it.
Right.
And not noticing it as it's being as a projection of your mind. You see what I'm saying? As if you are the doer of it, that's what brings up that kind of inflection, and you'll even hear the voice inflection in your thoughts.
Right, I get that.
You are the doer of it. You're noticing it as in that's like yours. It's like your habit. It's like you are the doer of it.
And I don't want to be doing it, right?
And yes, there's all kinds of attachments, and there's all kinds of there's all kinds of things. And what I would recommend to get that kind of noticing that I'm pointing here to, when you find yourself biting your lip, go for more of it. What's this about?
Okay.
What's this about? Go for it. Go, what is that? What's that about? Get curious about it instead of trying to stop doing it,
Got it.
Get curious about it. It's a different kind of noticing. It's like, what?
I see. More subtle.
Yeah, it's more on a subtle level. So it's like when you're noticing it more as if you're the doer of it, right? As if you're the doer of it and you're trying to resist it.
Yeah.
It keeps on going like that. But if you use it as an ooh, this is interesting. What is this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a biting the inside. It's inside.
Oh, it's on the inside. Oh, how awesome.
Like I use my top teeth to bite the bottom inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not totally pulverizing my lips, or it's just a nibble. Like, it's so weird, and it's
Yeah.
been going on for a long time. So
Yes.
I need to notice what's happening.
No, you don't need to notice anything. See, it's like this, okay? Because it's not in the future or anything. Look,
You're
it's
right.
just it's in when you bring it to now. When you bring it to now, remember this. Every time you hear the word need, you could follow that if you like with I need do nothing. Okay.
Okay.
So there's even the noticing. See, it's not playful for you. It's not a playful thing for you as
No,
long as
it's not.
you want to get rid of.
Right.
Okay. It's not
Mhm.
like whatever it's like biting.
Right.
I don't know how it is. I don't know how it looks, but I'm messing around. But biting it is like not a playful thing for you.
No.
And if you let it be a playful thing for you, you'll start to notice more and more. Um, and then it's kind of like it lets go of you because there's some kind of habitual thought pattern that's driving it.
Yeah.
Yulia mentioned it's unconscious. She said you can't do it unconsciously. She mentioned that it's unconscious. And see, it's these thoughts. It's these thoughts. Oh, I need to get it. I need to get this. I need to get
Right.
this. That's what I'm
Mhm.
sensing about it. I need to get this right now. That's actually blocking it. You know. So
Mm.
so in noticing what it is, you get what it is that it symbolizes. You get what it is that it symbolizes. You notice that there's no continuing it because they're not continuing that thought process. It's the same thing as
Mm.
noticing it's same thing as noticing a thought process for what it is, as it is. It's the same thing. You notice a thought process as it is, it ceases. See, it ceases to have any power over you.
So is it I need to get this, I need to stop this? That's more noisy
Yes.
than the subtle
Yeah. And when
whatever is going on. Mm.
yes, it's like you're trying to get something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's an emotion that's going along there. Here's another thing for you with regard to biting your mouth, biting your lips and your mouth and stuff like that. The emotion, there's an emotion up for you, but you're focused on that gross aspect of it. So when you find yourself biting your lip and you're like, or mouth or whatever, what is this about? What is this about really? And you can sense the emotional charge behind it.
Mm.
See? Notice what the emotional charge behind that action is. That's how it was for me with the toes. It's very similar to that. I could keep gripping my toes if I wanted to. I could. But the instant I noticed that those toes were gripping, I knew right away that it was something that was up as far as a feeling. And then it was like boom, gone. And a sense of lightness immediately. You could use the biting of the mouth the same way.
Mm.
It's not you're not a slave to it. It's not hereditary. I know you said your mom does it too.
Yeah.
And it's not hereditary or anything. It's not anything that you can't see through.
Okay.
You know.
I could use it to see through.
Exactly. Yep. You use it and you use it to see through everything. You can use it to see through everything. Everything like that is so valuable.
Mm. Okay.
What a blessing that is.
Mm.
So just keep on noticing. So keep on noticing it.
Yeah.
If you notice it, if you notice the lip biting and it goes on, then yes, it's going on with your awareness of it now.
Yeah.
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 So it's not anymore an unconscious action. So let it continue with your awareness of it now. And then you'll notice what causes it, and then that will dissolve it for you.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
Well, and then look how nice it is to have a mouth that's not bitten. You know,
Yeah, it
look how
will.
nice it is to have a mouth that's not being bitten at the same time. Look how sweet that is to yourself. That's when you find yourself doing something that is painful. I even and it doesn't have to be real painful. I used to find myself doing this. I might even still find myself doing that sometime, but like kind of like that, like a squeezing. I just
Hmm.
caught myself wiggling my foot. Yay, Julia! She just got herself wiggling her foot, and noticing that that's an attack. Oh wow, it's an attack. It's an internal attack. It's an attack thought. Okay, it's trying to get some. It's trying to get some kind of soothing through causing a. It's in the body. What it's doing is trying to get some soothing that soothes the mind to make a little bit more sensation in the body. Like
Oh,
getting some sensation. You're biting your lip, you're getting some sensation, and
yeah.
and that's one way to soothe yourself.
Ah,
But there's a much more productive way to soothe yourself, and it can show itself if you just let that play out. Let it play out in your awareness. That's how.
okay.
Yay!
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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so stoked.
Yeah, so am I.
How
So am
your mouth fighting goes. You're
I.
so fun. Thank you for
My,
bringing that up. I never heard that. I
no,
never heard.
I never even thought about bringing that up. I never. How the hell did we come to that anyway?
Because what was it?
Your toes. Your
Because she
toes.
said something. She said the toes gripping the earth.
Right.
She said or tapping feet too, and then it brought me to fidgeting.
And you talked about your toes gripping them, and you said habitual. And I went, oh, that's my biting my lip.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. But I literally have been noticing it lately a lot. And I'm like, what? I guess I wasn't asking. There was a not a loud, subtle, what the hell? Why do I do that?
Yeah, because it's kind of like it's not a real sincere curiosity yet.
Right, right, right.
But it'll get. My sense is that it'll get to that really fast. Yeah,
It seems like every time you say that to me, that's what happens.
yeah.
It's almost like every single time you tell me what's going to happen, that's exactly what happens.
We make an awesome team.
I guess I love it. I love it. I love it.
Me too. I'm so grateful.
Same here. You don't even know. Oh, jeez. Ah, all right. Well, thank you. Again,
Thank
thank you, thank you, thank you.
you. Yay.
I love you.
Ah.
Mhm.
You. This just reminded me of a floating tank experience. I don't know what that is, Yulia. If you'd like to tell me about it, raise your hand. Oh, there it is. Here's Yulia's beautiful hand. Aloha.
Aloha Hope, it's been a while.
No, I'm stoked to hear your voice.
Me too, I'm stoked. And I
Yay.
never used that word, but it's the first time, I think.
You might start. That would be so fun. People go, "How are you?" You're like, "I'm stoked." That's how
It's fun.
they're like, "What?"
Getting even more stoked, no?
Yeah, they go, "What?" You're stoked. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, all this talking about fidgeting and unconscious habits led me to think of, first of all, to an experience like when you sit and try to meditate, as in, in a still position, the classical formal way. And
Right.
sometimes you develop an unbearable itch and you just have to scratch yourself. And there's really nothing there, but the itch comes out of nowhere and it suddenly takes over all of your attention. Like
I
it's the
love
biggest
that.
thing in the world. And if you don't scratch yourself, you're just going to explode,
Isn't that so good?
And it's so interesting when you start paying attention to that. Like, you know, there's nothing happening literally, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing on your skin. There's nothing that has to be done. There's no need to scratch in any shape or form, but your mind just like, or whatever it is, it's just like, I have to scratch myself. This is like, not even consciously. And
Because
then,
it's uncomfortable, because the ego's uncomfortable about what you're going to discover by sitting still.
yeah, exactly. And something like that. And the same thing happened with the floating tank experience. I thought, oh my God, this is going to be an awesome, you know, sensory deprivation experience to see what happens if there are no senses. And then similar thing happened. You know, you lay there and like the slightest itch, the slightest sensation just suddenly grows huge.
Yes.
And then another one. And then it's like, you feel like maybe you can't breathe, and then the fear that you don't know, maybe like something went wrong and you are there longer than you should be, and
Yes.
something doesn't work, and ultimately it's like almost to a panic out
Yeah.
of nothing. But that's just so telling as to what we are.
That's so fun.
It's kind of almost sad, even though we just talked about how nothing is sad.
Nothing is sad. Well, you know what? Here's the thing, Yulia. You know, I don't know if you've been on before when I talked about Vipassana, but you know, I was in Vipassana apparently, which is a 10-day, 10-hour a day meditation.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And you know, have you been on that? Have you been to that?
I wanted to, but I haven't. But I'm aware of what it
Okay.
is.
So if you go, you'll hear about the itch thing. You'll
Yeah.
hear about that. And you know, when I heard that no itch is real, I really believed that. I really believed that. And I had, you know, a parent mosquitoes landing on me a lot. It was August, it was super muggy here in Hawaii, and all these mosquitoes were landing on me, and I was sitting still and not moving. I
Wow.
found myself sitting still and not moving. So it's a choice. It's a choice, as in whether or not that thought is important. It's not a choice in whether you move. That's what I saw. It's a choice, and that's why it seems like you have no choice. But the choice is whether that thought is important. When I heard of Vipassana, that no itch is no. Well, actually, they don't say no itch is real.
Oh my
That's
God, it just started itching. Hope it just started itching.
yeah. The no itch is real. What they say, no itch is eternal, and you're here for the eternal. You're
Yeah.
here to discover the eternal, and no itch is eternal. So you can sit through it and not move. And what that entails is really, since you don't have any control over whether you move or not, it's not pursuing the thoughts. That's all it is. The uncontrolled movement, the itching, the going after, you know, the thoughts of panic and all that kind of stuff. It's a choice. It's a step by step choice that's being made to pursue that thought. And you know, when I heard that, I knew that I didn't have to pursue any thought about the itch, and I could just perceive the itch. And not only did I perceive the itch, I perceived mosquito landing on lots of them, but each time, sometimes several at once, landing on the skin, putting their little stinger in there, pulling it back out, and flying away.
Wow. I'm doing it like Lori, and I'm going to say, wow. I can do it like Lori does, though. It's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah. So you know, so that was demonstrating to my own mind that no itch is real. Because since I didn't have to pursue any thought, I could get the perception. This is the perception. This is the perception. I can get this perception of a mosquito landing, sticking it in, pulling it out, flying away. That's the perception. And the sensation. That sensation, I can't see them. My eyes are closed. But that sensation perception is what's occurring. That's what's occurring to me. Okay, fine. That's not really what's going on. There's nothing to be done. You know.
It's incredible.
You can start going to diseases that mosquitoes carry. We just had some kind of some years ago, I think it was a couple of years ago, this thing called dengue fever you get from mosquitoes.
Yep, Zika and all that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
you can go to full on panic about that if you want to, but when you
Yeah.
know that it's not real and nothing can happen to you, because, you can't even have the perception, nothing happens, of course, but you can't even have the perception of something happening to you unless you're projecting it. So that being the case, you can't get any of these viruses they talk about from a mosquito. In fact, or anything, you just can't get it. You just can't get it unless you need it, unless you give it to yourself. It doesn't come without your authority, so there's nothing to be afraid of. But if you do feel afraid of it, then you're not willing to see through that fear, then you have to take precautions.
Right.
Because
it's like you can be afraid of your own authority, no?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I think sometimes. Like, well, if this is not a conscious thing, then how do I know what I may have prepared for myself? Or it could be something really bad or perceived as bad.
Yes, it could be perceived as it could be. It could be. There's a kind of like a free fall. One friend that came over today, she used the words free fall. She said, "Thank you for free falling. It helps me to free fall." There's a free fall as far as however it goes is how it's meant to be. And so there's not trying to get that to change. However it goes is how it's meant to be. So, for instance, if there's a mosquito biting and the thought of some virus arises in your mind, then you recognize that that's the case, and there's a sense of relief, and that's healing.
Mm-hmm.
See? Because then you're not buying into fear. You're not buying into quote unquote facts. They're not real facts. They're false facts. But, facts of wisdom of this world, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, into the false facts, you're just kind of like in a free fall. Well, if that's meant to be, then that will be.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you feel and if you feel the sense that, or you're motivated to put on some mosquito spray or something like that, that is also not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It really isn't. I mean, just because I know that I can sit still with mosquitoes, I may or may not flick one off of me. I may or may not find myself flicking them off with me, off of me. But, once I have the experience that, I'm not like a robot. I'm not like a robot. This thing that's playing out is playing out as a manifestation of thought. So if I didn't take that thing to be a threat, then I don't have to do anything about it. And it's the same thing with an itch, If you don't take the itch to be a threat, you don't have to do anything about it if you don't want to.
That's so awesome and so inspiring. I recently had like another potential life situation that scared me. And I was like, I can get scared. And I thought, well, like, wait, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do that. Wait a minute, that's not in line with what I even believe, right? So, well, I remembered that I guess what I should do is allow myself to imagine what it would be like if the worst scenario happened and like let that feeling pass through me.
Let's say that you could do that, yeah.
And it was like interesting because I felt hot.
Good.
Like I felt the heat rising. It was like, good. That's kind of cool in a way,
Yay, that's it. That's it. That's what I've been pointing to, is that kind of, it's I call it holy fire.
Yeah, I remember that phrase too. Like, or some people in other traditions say something about like burning of the vastus or something like that. I can't remember. Something is burning.
Yeah, something is burning.
Something is burning off is all we know.
Yogic texts have it too. The yogic texts have it too in there sometimes. Sometimes my yogi friends will say it back to me in a yogi way.
Right. Which, if you go into it scientifically, there's such a mess of everything anyway in it. So what's yogic, what's not, but who cares?
Yeah. So,
Something is burning.
uh-huh. Something is burning. That's isn't that a great feeling though? It's like there's a sense of fear, but that excitement, it's like the excitement overtakes it. You know, I've said before, fear is excitement in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's fear, but when you allow that to be brought to the truth, it's like there's this fire of excitement, and it's like burns away everything that causes the fear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love to
Then,
hear that. Thank you.
thank
So,
you. Then there's guilt too. I think that fear too was predicated on the concept that I could be guilty of something.
oh yeah, for sure. It's always they look at it's how it's all tied in with doership too.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's you got it wrong. You did something wrong.
Yeah, and I've been having like dreams lately about like I am somehow an unwilling accomplice to the murder and to hiding it. And the horrible feeling in the dream is guilt and
Oh,
sadness and
nice.
like desire to let everyone know that this happened, and yet fear
Oh
and
wow.
guilt that because somebody must have died or something like that and nobody knows where they are, or some kind of nonsense like this, but the feelings are strong.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's coming to the forefront of your consciousness that you're not capable of doing anything. You're not capable of killing. You're not capable of being guilty for anything. So these things start to play out. Watching your dream time too, it may go, it may go. This is what I've experienced. You know, first it's like that, and then there's a full on recognition in the dream.
Wow, that would be awesome.
And then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, we were just kidding," or something like that. It's really fun. It's really fun. Oh yeah, you're right.
Wow.
My daughter told me about an amazing dream she had. You know, we used to have this thing going where I was always disappointed in her, and she would not want me to be disappointed in her. She would not want that at all. And she would try to make it so that I would not be disappointed in her. And then after a few years of her not seeing me disappointed and hearing what I say too, hearing what I say about how disappointment isn't real, she has a dream where I'm disappointed in her. She
Oh.
just goes, she just goes, Mom, but you know that's not real. And I go, oh yeah, never mind. She's like, I feel like it's finally gone from me. Like it's like that's how it was like worked out of her. Like that fear of making me disappointed finally gone.
Yeah, and it's like you said too, it's like two people in agreement. One agrees to be the disappointed, the other one agrees to be the cause of disappointment. But
Yep.
it's also a projection, like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm disappointing someone.
Yes. So even after she didn't perceive any disappointment coming from me, she was still afraid of it until in that dream it got worked out.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah, really.
Ah.
Yeah. Did she have it with Tony too? Probably something similar. Probably something similar. But you know, at this point, she knows that kind of thing isn't a reality. You know, she may get upset about it. She may even start crying about something like that. But she knows that it's not the reality, and you know, it's not something that she's willing to hold on to for any period of time.
How cool. Lucky kids of yours.
Well, of course, there's no such thing as luck. You know, it's like it's like an agreement. It's more like an agreement, and it's something that it's like a mission. It's like a mission that we're on together.
Cool. Fun.
Yeah, we're like all, and you know, you're like in the family too. Like you're on this mission too.
Yeah,
You're
no.
on this mission.
Aren't we all, right?
Yeah, yeah, and you know, it's like these bodies apparently come together, but what's dancing here are concepts. So you know, it's like each body represents a field of concepts, and it's a field of concepts dancing together. That's all. And so
Yeah.
and so they're resonant energies that dance together. I noticed that when my little son Braun, the guy who was here earlier when he was born, when he was apparently born, yeah, I was like, wow, this changes, and you know, just this consciousness, this got consciousness aspect of consciousness, adding this energy to the dance, you know, adding this energy to the dance, so to speak. This changes everything, and it seemed like that guy at 2 years old had a large part of the energy play of moving to Hawaii, even.
Wow. How neat.
Yeah, it's like it's like we're all engaging together, making it up as we go along, all for the same purpose. And
Right.
it's like when I would look into his eyes, I would sense that kind of freedom. Like it's okay to move to Hawaii.
How cool.
Yeah, it was almost like he was talking to me with his little. We moved here when he was just two, just barely two. So it's almost like he was talking to me with his little cute little 1 year old eyes. And it's okay, to move to Hawaii. And like he didn't even really like wasn't able to communicate with words. Like, hey, I want to move to Hawaii or I don't. You know, it's just like. But there's just like a sense you get, you know, and this communication, it goes to before words, you know, it
Mhm.
goes before words even. So it's like we join one another on our journey, which is just a journey in thought. It's no journey at all, but it's a play of consciousness.
Right. There's nobody born anyway.
Yeah, yeah, and even they look like a cute little baby, and you know, like they don't know anything. They had to believe a lot of self defiling thoughts to make a
A
body.
body.
Yeah, to make a body, see? To make that illusion of a body and have perception. You cannot get to perception in the first place without belief. So like there each one within each body, you know, what's the life energy that's projecting that body is all powerful.
But who are they that had to believe
It's
something?
you. It's you. It's all you.
Becoming like Alice in Wonderland, you know?
Isn't that the best?
Yes. Who is asking the question? Who?
Yeah.
Or who are you, right?
Yeah. Who are they to get that belief? And it's like, yeah, it's you. It's just another aspect of your own. See, it's your own mind. And it's these different microcosms of perceiving. There's a different microcosm of perspective, but it's your own mind.
Which is
They
also your own mind, right?
exactly.
And everybody else's.
Well, there just isn't anybody else. That's the illusion.
Hmm.
You know, it's like there's only one of us here.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like when you say it's you, it's like, yeah, the same way
Yeah,
as you and
yeah,
everybody.
same. You know, it'd be just as confusing if I said it's me, it's me. So as long as there's that defensiveness in the mind, there's going to be that confusion aspect of it. But it can go either way. I tried it both ways on Facebook. It was pretty funny. Either way,
it's me or it's you that way.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, people will read that differently if you say it's you. They're like, oh, what does she think about herself?
all different, and people have all different interpretations too of what's being said. See, there's all different interpretations of what's being said, and that's all projected according to what defenses are still held in that body's energy field. You could say in that conceptual field.
So everything is a mirror. I heard somewhere that the art is a mirror and everyone sees themselves in it, but that can be said about everything, especially about words.
It is everything. Yeah. It's you're only perceiving everything about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you thought.
So whatever hope says, it's not that, like you say yourself, has no meaning of its own.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that's why I say nothing I say is true. It's not like you take it and I don't know, carve it into your side of your house or something.
Why not?
You could. It's just you take the concept. It's all pointers, and that's all anyone's doing any of the time, even if it seems like it's threatening or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes I repost it on Facebook, so that's kind of like carving it on your house these days.
Yeah, and it's like it's good. It's light. It's just a light thing. And the way I mean about this is it's a light thing, and it's not like the words have to be taken so literal. There's some pointers that are really helpful for you. It's like there's some pointers that are like, wow, that helps me to see. But it's not the pointer itself that is the truth, and that's what I mean by that.
Right. Yes, I get it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not the words.
Yeah. But sometimes you see the way words are strung together, it makes it such an important pointer for you. I know that happens, in my case as well. In fact, I don't even post anything on Facebook unless it is a very important pointer in my perception.
Good.
Like, what's the use?
Yeah. There's plenty of stuff that's just fluff out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of that, and it's like, it's like there's no motivation for making up false things. There's no motivation for, gosh, I can't believe that it's so fucked up like that or like this. If it's not something beautiful, if it's not something lovely, or if it's not something that points to the truth, it's really not worth saying.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this terrible that these people are doing it over there? That's a Bible verse too. I don't know it word by word, but it's something like, think on these things. Think on that which is just, beautiful, lovely. Think on these things. Because how you think is how you speak, and even what you post on Facebook, it's going to be a representation of how you think. So it's kind of impossible for me to post something about something being wrong unless I'm actually believing in something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Or even to just post to get a post on there. Post on there, That's another one. Well, I haven't posted in a while. I better get something posted. See? Just even the concept of, I've had the perception of people telling me that I need to post more consistently if I want to be noticed. I think it is.
Well, yeah, the social media management, whatever it is these days, yeah.
Right. And it's like, you know, that's for someone. That's for someone who wants to be someone.
Right.
It's not for me though.
Yeah, and very often the most popular things on the internet, like the viral videos, are the silliest things in the world, which is okay.
It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it's really awesome. And you know, it's like it's always revealing things. That's what I love too. Like I'll just scroll and I'll go on there and just scroll sometimes and just look at, wow, it's so revealing of what is going on in my mind. And it's showing it's showing all the different contrasts, and everything gets forgiven. You know,
Mhm.
whatever kind of idea, like, oh, this is not spiritually advanced, or they don't have it right. Oh gosh, they don't have it right. Something like that. And it's like the forgiveness aspect of it is more like, it seems to me like they don't have it right. It seems to me like they don't have it right. It seems to me like they're even doing this. It's arising in my perception. I made it up. See? And that's where the forgiveness goes, because then it's not so sad. For instance, it's not too bad. It's just a perception. So
Mhm.
totally meaningless.
Yeah, I
But
remember.
and then in that, having the perception can be inspiring.
Yes.
What were you going to say, my love?
Oh, nothing important. Just like the thing when you feel like somebody didn't get it right, can
Yeah.
act. I noticed myself doing the foot tapping or the fidgeting
Oh,
sometimes.
nice. Nice.
Right. Yeah.
That's great. That's a good one. You hear that one, Lori? That's a good one right there. Fidgeting when you hear someone or perceive someone not getting it.
Or something concerns you in what somebody says. And
Yeah.
sometimes you're not even aware of what, but there is some concern, some
Yeah.
discomfort.
Yes. Any concern, anything. That's great. You
I
said something
know.
about shaking. You wrote something about shaking up above. What do you mean by
Yeah,
that?
like wiggling or shaking the foot
Oh, I
or
see. Yeah.
something, some kind of, I do that. I notice like my toes are on the floor, like I'm sitting and my ankle is off the floor and I'm shaking like my ankle, like my
Yeah.
heel and my ankle, like, oh,
Like you're
wow.
going, like you're going somewhere.
Right, like, to give my whole body a nice soothing shake. Like, why am I shaking that?
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Right, and it's definitely like to soothe yourself because there's some subtle, subtle discomfort with something.
Yes. Yes. The FBI knows this.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah,
remember that. I read,
FBI agents know this thing. I read a book from an FBI agent one time.
right, does the polygraph work or are they just watching your feet?
Yep. There's different ways your eyes move. There's different things that you do. There's tugging at your ear. There's
Right.
different scratches.
And
There's like
itches, there are itches
itch,
too.
itches. Yeah, those itches are not really what you think they are.
Right, right.
Every itch is symbolic.
Hmm. Yep. Oh my God. Oh.
And it's not for you need to use it for putting on a show, for like seeing how still you can sit in front of people, but what just being natural and watching them for yourself, watching your own, watching them arise in the form of other people.
Hmm.
Just get more and more aware, um, more and more awake and alive, baby.
Yay! So stoked.
Get stoked. Yay. There's actually a bumper sticker around here that says, "We're stoked." It's a local guy. He's a DJ. He has one that says, "We're stoked." He has one that says, "Dancing is good for you." Probably some other colons.
We're stoked is very good, right?
They're stoked.
And
Yeah.
we all know dancing is good for you anyway.
Yes,
Right?
dancing is good for you. We're a dance community over here. That's a big dance community. We have a big dance community.
I have to come visit.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have a lot of fun. I see you traveling around. I know you can be here really fast.
Hopefully, hopefully. Everything is everywhere, but not Hawaii yet. For
Oh,
me.
how fun. Okay. Well, anyone who comes, hit me up because for one thing, we just got a huge black sand beach. Huge.
Oh my
It's
God.
it's like, well, for us, of course. Um, it's big enough to have 2 lifeguard stands. Let's put it that way. It's not like California. You have like going all the way up and down the coast. But this is big. This is big, and I
I
love
bet
that.
there's enough room for me there. I don't need the giant beach, right?
And it's brand new. It's brand new. It
Wow.
just came in May with the lava flow. Maybe it wasn't even May. It might have been like June. It was during the flow that it occurred. It almost covered this beach park, but instead it encircled the parking lot.
That's unique. That's so unique, like a freshly
Yeah.
made volcanic beach.
Yeah, and my sweet, cute. Oh, you see Candy? Aw.
I've been watching that cat all the time. It's been
Oh,
going around in circles there.
oh, she's such
Right.
a love. She's such a love. So I have this sweet little pond. You might have seen a picture of it. I posted on Facebook there at that same beach. It's called Pohuiki. And this pond is still there. So this lava came around and like just left this little spot. It came on both sides, you guys. Like they had to first we had to hike to get over there, and then they made a road. They actually paved a road right over the lava flow to get to that beach now.
Wow, how fast.
And the sweet little warm pond that was always there is still there as it was, but now there's a big ass beach in front of it.
Wow, upgraded. It's all upgraded.
Yeah. The pond is still fed by ocean water. It's both ocean water and water from, I don't know where it's from, but it's like in the earth and then it gets heated by lava. I don't know the whole science.
Geothermal something, right?
Yeah, but the temperature is like perfect womb temperature.
Wow.
So it's warm, but you can stay in there for like 3 hours and that's not a problem.
I want one so bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then it made 2 more bigger warm ponds too. Much bigger than that little, but still the little one is my sweetie. I go back there and I'm pretty much the only one or a few people. But now they have these big ones where like families come and play and huge, this beach, the reason it's so awesome for the surfers are so surfing those big gigantic waves. What did you say?
I was saying we must go to Hawaii to my boyfriend here.
Oh, cool. Yeah, plant the seed. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Oh, I won't be having Wisdom Dialogues next week because it is Christmas Day and I will be chilling with my family. But, now that I'm saying that, I'm like, why not? No, my family is going to be probably be having a bunch of people over and everything like that. So we're not going to do it on Christmas Day. But we will be back the next week, which is New Year's Day.
Oh, nice.
So if you'd like to join me for the first day in 2019, ow! I'm on.
That's a new one.
It's not new to me, but it's new to Wisdom Dialogues. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah. Woo, yeah. Have a lovely Christmas. And if it's not Christmas or something else, whatever it is, have a lovely one of those. Okay? And 2 weeks from now, we'll do it again. And yeah, in the meantime, if you want to see my videos, wisdomdialogues.org takes you right to my YouTube channel. And I told you about signing up earlier, but I'll tell you again. If you want to get invited, you can join my group, Facebook.com/groups/Wisdom Dialogues. And if you love essential oils or you're curious about them, go to miraclebotanicals.com. I took the lid off of it as if you can smell it.
I'm pretending to smell it. What are you gonna make? Are you making blends for people? I want to blend.
Okay. Okay. Send me, just text me on or message me on Facebook or send me an email or whatever and give me your address. Okay. And tell me anything else you want to tell me, but you don't have to tell me anything. Yay. I don't want to. Okay. I love you. Mahalo. Thank you so much. Aloha, Anastasia. Aloha, Yulia. Aloha, Lori. Yay. I'm not gone yet because I haven't found my place to turn it off. Oh, there it is. Aloha.
Aloha.